Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'll be talking about how I edit my audio for my videos, and after that I'm going to make a video talking about the editing process and how I make my thumbnails and whatnot. But I think that the audio itself deserves its own video because I think the audio is a very key aspect when it comes to the quality of videos, and I think having a good microphone and a good sound is definitely very helpful in having a good video. But before I talk about editing and whatnot, I'm just going to quickly talk about the microphone that I use, and the microphone is the Samson Q2U, and it's very good for its price. It's $60. It's a dynamic microphone, meaning that it cancels the background noise, so if you're in a noisy environment, it really helps with that. And on top of that, it comes with a USB and XLR cable, and I have connected it right now with the USB cable, and on Linux it works just fine without a problem. So yeah, that's the microphone I use in case you're wondering. And so when it comes to the editing itself, I use Audacity, and so when I have my MP3 file, just drag it here. A good shortcut that I love to use is Control A. It helps me highlight the whole selection here. And so you just need only a couple steps. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this recording so that you can kind of get an idea of what it sounds like before editing it, and then I'm going to play it after editing it. So I'm going to mute my microphone so you could hear it real quick. This is a test audio recording demonstrating how my voice sounds. This is a test audio recording. Alright, so, okay, hold on, let me stop it real quick. There we go. So that's how it sounds with no editing, just simply recording my voice, and that's it. So what I like to first do is I like to go to tracks and then mix it and go to stereo, mix stereo down to mono. That way it sounds the same from both sides of the speakers, and that's what you'd ideally like to have once you if you're recording your voice, for example. So that's the first thing I like to do. And then the second thing that I do is, I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up through the video, but sometimes, and this is actually something that I've recently learned about, and it's really helpful, and that is getting rid of the background noise. And the way to do that is just, and this is why, this is why I like to kind of, before I start talking, I like to leave the microphone, have some silence for like 2-3 seconds so that it can pick up this noise right here. So what you want to do is just select like 2 seconds or so of the initial noise. And I also like to leave a little bit once I'm done as well. And so select a little bit of that, go to Effect, and then Noise Reduction, and then click Get Noise Profile. So it's automatically going to get that for you, and then when you go back, and also the only settings that you might want to change from these values here is the first one, and that's how much from the original snippet of noise it's going to try to reduce. And so I decided to, the max value is 48. I decided to kind of put it halfway. It works best for me like that. So I put it at 24, and then this stuff I just left it at whatever it is. And so you just click OK. Well, actually don't click OK. That's only for this part. So let me go back. If you also want to undo a mistake, you could do Control Z. And if you want to redo something, then you could do Control Shift Z. So I just undid that. So do Control A again, so you select the whole thing. Now, once we have the profile from that little snippet of 2 seconds right there, we go back to noise reduction and we apply it to the whole thing. So this gets all the little imperfections. And now I go back to effects, and I typically set the equalization here. And so what I did is, initially it's on this setting, draw, but I selected it at graph. And so for the first values here, I kind of selected these by, let me see what the value was, by 2, roughly 2 decibels. So these values here, I have them at 2. At like the 500 hertz range, it's at -2, and at around the 700 to 900 range, again, they are, I don't know why these values are they're not necessarily equal for some reason. Last time I checked, I made them the same value, but these ones are 2 decibels. This one is at the 500 range is -2, and 7 to 900 are 2 again. And then you just click OK, and you apply the effect. And so again, I'm not much of an audio expert. This is just based off of what I've learned works the best. And so that's why I do it, and it tends to work. So yeah, when it comes to the compressor now, this is the third and final effect that I apply. And so for the threshold here, it's -32 decibels is what I have it at. It just works best for me. Of course, if depending on your microphone, depending on your setup, all that type of stuff, you could kind of play around with this value to see what works best, but this is typically what I have it at. And for the ratio, I have it 2:5:1, and the attack time, I have it at 40 seconds, because the defaults may be a bit different for you. So these are the ones that I have. And I just apply this effect, and that's all I do. Like, for when it comes to my audio, that's all I do. So now I'm going to play this version so you can hear what it sounds after the effect. So I'm going to mute my microphone again. This is a test audio recording demonstrating how my voice sounds. As you can tell, it sounds much louder. My voice is certainly more prominent in the second recording after the effects. The background little small noises, you can't really hear them much anymore. And for the video specifically, I'm going to leave these parts where I play the playback. I'm going to leave them unedited on purpose so you can hear them. But if after all of your edits, if you try to do something similar with your recordings, and if it's still quiet, and what the previous microphone that I used, sometimes it would be quiet. So what I do is I go here and I kind of give it some gain, usually around 2 to 5 decibels, nothing more, because at that point it just, it really distorts the sound. It kind of, instead of making it better, kind of, it makes it worse. And also, when you see the bar here, ideally you would like it to go around this, like, I forgot the colors, I think yellow to red. Like the yellow to red range right here. And so after that, I just go to export, and I export it as an MP3 file, and I'm good to go. At that point, I just put it in the video editor, and I edit my video. So that's basically what you mainly need to know when it comes to audio editing. At least this works for me specifically. It's been working pretty nicely, and maybe you could learn a thing or two from this. Again, I'm not an audio expert at all, but these are just the 3 effects that I apply to my audio that makes it sound better, and they work for me. So if they work for you, make sure to leave a comment below and kind of explain your experience if you want. And yeah, that was basically it. Thanks for watching.